Okay, good morning and welcome to the Frog Connected Classrooms Discover Career series. Do continue this discussion of discovering careers by creating and sharing your photos, videos, stories, and even your own interviews on your social media channels using hashtag FrogCC or hashtag FrogBarista. To our live viewers, you may submit to us your questions using the question and answer app, and we shall try to answer your question if time permits. Today with us we have Levi Asher, a barista trainer. Levi, can you introduce yourself, your job, and the number of years you've been in this field?
Okay. Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Levi Asher and I'm a barista trainer. I work in a training academy for coffee. I've been a barista for the past 6 years, but
I see. Boleh beritahu apakah tanggungjawab atau tugas seorang barista actually?
a barista is mainly responsible for making coffee. That's a simple. That's mostly the requirements of a barista.
So membancu kopi di kedai kopi.
Membantu kopi.
But special coffee lah, right?
Yes, bukan macam kopi O, tapi menggunakan mesin kopi.
Yeah.
Alright. So how did your ambition from what you were doing in high school you to where you are?
Well, in high school, I was one of those people that didn't really know what to do. So I was still studying hard. I was in the science stream, and that helped me a lot today. So how I got into this industry is actually by accident. I went to college after high school to do a business cert, and then I decided I want to pursue graphic design. Okay. But as I was in college, I was also working part-time in a cafe just to gain some pocket money. And through that is when I discovered my passion for coffee.
Wow, interesting. So from a part-time job, it is now your full-time job?
Yes, I've been drawn into the coffee industry.
Cool, okay. I was just wondering, and for benefit of audience, how many hours do you work in a day? Berapa jam anda bekerja setiap hari? And can you describe your typical work day?
Dalam satu hari lebih kurang 8 jam. My typical day starts in the morning around 9 or 10 a.m. Because we run a training center, so once in a while we open our training center for students to come and practice their skills on our machines.
All right.
And so a typical day would involve me in the morning turning on all the machines and getting the center ready for students to come and practice. And as students come in, we also guide our students so they can practice in a correct way.
So does that mean tempat kerja Levi is not a cafe that sells coffee?
Nope. Kita ni bukan tempat menjual kopi, kita hanya tempat mengajar.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, so so for example, if I were to become a barista in a coffee shop, how many hours average? Jika saya barista di kedai kopi, berapa jam kah purata jam yang saya akan bekerja?
Yeah, so I'm sure you have started off as a barista itself before you became a trainer.
Yep, there are many different companies will have different hours of working. You can either be a part-time or a full-time barista. Most baristas work 8 hours a day, either in the morning or sometimes even at night. There are also
Shift
people, yes, by shift, and ada juga orang yang bekerja part-time pada hujung minggu.
Oh, okay, all right. So tell us why you fell in love with coffee. Why are you so passionate about your job?
Well, the amazing thing about coffee is It has been around for so many years, and it's constantly changing, and coffee really connects people around the world. Like, you can go around the world without even moving when you drink a cup of coffee. For example, I was drinking a cup of coffee just now, which comes all the way from Ethiopia, which is in West Africa.
Wow, that's very far away.
Okay, so okay, cool. Your job sounds pretty exciting, but I'm sure there are challenges as well. What are your daily challenges that you may face? Apakah cabaran hari-harian yang anda melalui?
Well, cabaran yang paling tinggi untuk diri saya is when I started out, I used to be very, very shy. And as a trainer, you need to learn to talk a lot and also teach other people. So that was a big challenge for me. And I'm sure for some of you as well, standing in front of a class would be really tough. And that's what I faced in the beginning. But slowly, as I did it more and more, that's how I started to overcome that challenge.
I see, right. So how many years were you in this field before you can actually move up to be a trainer? And after being a trainer, is there any more higher positions that you can go into?
Definitely. So for me, I was a trainer. I was a barista for 3 to 4 years before I started training other people. But it varies for different people. As long as you have a passion for coffee and a passion for teaching other people, you can become a trainer very, very easily. There are also a lot of other opportunities in the coffee industry for almost everyone.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a question that we just got. What does it take to be a professional barista? Like, what kind of skill sets, what kind of soft skills, that you need to be a barista and now a trainer?
Okay. Well, being a barista is very skill-based, so anyone can be a barista. But first of all, you must love coffee. Secondly, you have to have a great smile to be able to serve people. So those are the first two criteria. Other than that, it just takes a lot of hard work and practice.
I see, all right. A lot of smiling. Okay, that's what my my takeaway was.
Yeah.
Okay, so then can you tell us, like, once you have this skill in the coffee industry, are there any other industry that you can work with or work in? Or is
Yes,
it only
definitely.
coffee?
We have seen baristas go on to become trainers, and sometimes if they really love coffee and the science aspect of coffee, they can also become researchers. So they go into labs and do a lot of experiments on coffee to find out more about it.
Oh, okay. So means there is an opportunity, ada peluang untuk sambung pelajaran, but specializing in coffee.
Yes, there are many specialized fields in coffee. For example, there are professional tasters. So they go around different countries tasting and grading coffees.
So just minum kopi, rasa kopi.
That's a very, very fun job.
Is there any more other than like coffee tasting? Can you go into like other industries, say media, I don't know, tourism, stuff like that?
Yes, definitely. There are also, you can start your own TV shows. There's a very famous TV presenter, I think on the History Channel. He has a show called Dangerous Grounds, where he travels all around the world into dangerous territories in search of coffee. So there are a lot of opportunities within the coffee industry and outside also.
I see. So it depends on how adventurous you are, lah.
Exactly.
Okay. There are schools that are asking, what is the range of your earnings? Apakah pendapatan sebulanan anda?
Yeah, can you tell? And how high can you go?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I can't reveal the exact number, but it's roughly between 1,500 to maybe 4,000. I would say it's enough to put a roof over my head, enough for me to own a car and live very comfortably.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you can even own a car. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But as far as you know, I mean, among your friends or people in your industry, like, what is the highest range for earnings?
Highest range, it can start from very, very low, from 4 or 5 ringgit per hour, and if you do own your business, you can even be a millionaire one day.
Yeah, like Starbucks, I guess.
Yeah, like Starbucks, or if you own one business, it's good enough also.
Okay, so then, okay, before we open up to the Q&A to school, so if you have any question for our guest, Mr. Levi Asher, so sekiranya sekolah anda ada soalan untuk tetamu kita, Levi Asher, so please identify yourself, sila perkenalkan sekolah anda dalam group chat, okay, dan kita akan panggil sekolah anda untuk tanya soalan secara sendiri. Alright, and moving on. So there are a lot of coffee shops nowadays. We have like Starbucks and whatnot. Do you think there's job opportunities for students who still have interest to go into your field? And what do you say about, like, who knows, we have robots making our coffees next time?
Well, coffee has been around for a long time and has been slowly growing in Malaysia. I'm sure many of you live in places where there are cafes opening up. And yes, definitely technology is coming into the coffee industry as well. It's slowly improving. But there's nothing can replace the human touch when it comes to making and serving that coffee.
So when you're talking about human touch, can you explain more about that?
Technologies are very good in making sure the coffee is made. But when it becomes to become a barista, it's more than just making the coffee. It's also serving the coffee to a customer and also interacting with the customer. And that is part of the entire coffee experience, which cannot be replaced with technology.
Yeah, so robot can't talk to us. True. All right, we have a question from SK Sibujaya. SK Sibujaya, ada soalan untuk tetamu kita hari ini?
Yeah. Our live question answer is now live. So SK Jaya, please approach the mic.
Yes, SK Sibujaya, we can hear you.
Hi.
Saya ada satu soalan. Dari manakah anda mendapat bekalan biji kopi? Dari dalam negara atau luar negara? Dan biji kopi manakah yang terbaik? Terima kasih.
Oh, okay, very good question. Levi.
Ya, dari manakah anda mendapatkan benih kopi anda? From where do you get your beans? And,
dalam negeri atau luar negeri?
Yeah.
And kopi yang manakah yang paling best?
Benih kopi boleh didapati di Malaysia, di negeri Perak ataupun Johor, dan juga di Sabah dan Sarawak. Okay, kita Malaysia pun menanam banyak kopi. Tetapi di luar Malaysia terdapat lebih 80 negara yang boleh menanam kopi, dan semua negara yang menanam kopi adalah di dalam ekuator.
Right, so can you tell us as well, the additional question was, where is the best coffee from? Kopi yang terbaik.
Kopi yang terbaik di dunia boleh didapati dari negara Panama, which is in Central America, very near Mexico and all the other countries. That's where the best coffee in the world comes from. Apparently, when you drink that coffee, bila anda meminum kopi itu, anda boleh nampak muka Tuhan. You can see the face of God when you drink that coffee.
Mas, SMK Kiara Mas. Your mic.
Hi, SMK Kiara Mas.
Susah ke? Hai.
SMK Kiara Mas, Jerman. Do you have a question for Levi?
Susah
susah ke nak jadi barista?
Alright, while we are waiting for SMK Kiaramas to be on. So my question for you will be like, is there any particular subject? You said that you were from science stream, daripada aliran sains. So apakah subjek yang penting atau subjek yang saya perlu fokus untuk kopi?
Yes, there's a lot of science and also art involved in coffee. If, for example, if you love physics, you can also use what you learned in school to apply it to making coffee. There's pressure involved when you want to make a cup of coffee. And also if you love chemistry, then you can go further into the industry and do some research on how different flavors of coffee will appear in a cup.
Wow, so physics and chemistry.
Yep.
So do you need to be good in English? Bahasa English perlu ke? Kalau tak pandai English boleh tak?
Boleh. Coffee is also from many countries, so it doesn't really matter what language you speak or where you come from. The coffee is, in a way, it will connect people no matter what language you use.
Yeah, I guess. Very good answer. So do we have SMK Karamas on now? Hello, we're waiting for SMK Karamas. Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
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 Yes. Hi. Okay. Can you see me? Hi.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Ya, boleh.
Hello.
Hello.
Ya.
Hi.
Okay. Is it hard to be a barista?
Barista.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the question. Is it hard to be a barista? Like, how do you start off? Is it challenging? Oh, that's a question from SMK Karamas.
Okay. Like I said, being a barista is a lot of a skill-based, so anybody can be a barista. It just takes a lot of practice in perfecting. It's just like playing football or any other sport. You start off by learning the basics and you slowly build upon that skill and learn a lot more about coffee.
Okay, so when you say practice, to go to be like a professional barista, how long does it take to practice? Yeah, how many hours, or like, do you have to do a 3-year degree? Can you explain more about your academic pathway?
Okay, so to be a professionally certified baristas, for example, at our academy, we offer courses, really short courses, which involves roughly 3 days. So when you come for a course, you sit through the course, we teach you the basics of making espressos and frothing the milk and pouring basic patterns and shapes that you might have seen in coffee shops. But after that course, we also allow you to practice, which is really more important than the course itself. And once you practice and pass that exam, then you will be a certified barista.
I see.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for answering that. Moving on.
Okay. SK Sibujaya has another question. So SK Sibujaya, if you like, quickly approach the mic.
All right. So while we are waiting for them.
Yeah. So while waiting for them, we have a question from the Q&A.
Yes.
Oh, SK Sibujaya. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Ya. Sila tanya.
Adakah semua orang puas hati dengan kopi yang Encik buat?
Okay. Ya. So, adakah semua orang puas hati dengan kopi yang Encik buat? So,
Pernah kena komplain tak?
Ya, ada komplain tak? Ada apa-apa? Ya.
Well, so far, tiada orang yang pernah komplain pasal kopi yang saya buat. Banyak orang juga mengatakan bahawa kopi yang saya buat adalah paling best yang mereka pernah minum.
Wow, very good. All right. So before we go to the next school, we have a question from our live audience.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a question from a live audience. Setengah orang berkata bahawa minum kopi itu tidak elok. Adakah benar? There are people that say that drinking too much coffee is not good. So what do you have to say about that?
Just like anything else, when you take too much of something, it is always not good. So what I usually tell people is take coffee in moderation.
Alright.
Okay, so in moderation lah.
Secara sederhana. Yes, alright.
Jangan melampau. Okay, so just another question from the Q&A. There are coffee baristas, but what about tea baristas? Adakah barista juga membancu teh?
There are also professional tea makers. Tea is also as complex as coffee, and that is another field on its own. But so far, today, coffee is a bigger industry compared to tea.
Okay.
I see. All right. So coffee has more potential. That's what you say, is it?
That's what I'm trying to say. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, we'll go back to the schools. There is a question from SMK Pondok Upe.
SMK Pondok Upe.
Yep, sila tampil ke hadapan. SMK Pondok Upe.
Hello. Please unmute.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. What are the things normally a barista do other than making coffee?
Okay.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Levi?
No, I can't hear any of the school's questions.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat your question? SMK Pondok Upe. Can you repeat your question to our guest?
Sila ulangi soalan anda.
Okay.
Wait. What are the things normally a barista do other than making coffee?
I'm not
So what
getting.
other responsibilities?
Okay.
Oh, what do you do other than making coffee? What does a barista do other than making coffee? Selain daripada buat kopi sahaja, ada benda lain tak? Ada tugas lain tak?
Just making coffee, bukan saja buat kopi, tetapi kena menjaga kebersihan dalam sebuah kafe, dan juga membuat minuman yang lain seperti juices or other types of drinks in the cafe.
So jus buah-buahan juga, and also sometimes you also do teh, right?
Do you do tea as well?
Yep, we do tea as well.
I see.
Very,
Alright.
very simple bancu tea.
Okay. So we also have SMK Putrajaya.
PC 8.
SK. Tanya.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hi, SMK Putrajaya PC.
Yo.
Can you tell us who was the first person to make coffee?
Can you repeat that?
Repeat. Pelan.
Can you tell us who was the first person to make coffee?
Who was the first person?
Wow.
Yeah.
Who was the first person to make coffee?
Very interesting question.
Yes.
Well, there is a legend. Ada satu legenda yang mengatakan there was a guy named Kaldi. So Kaldi was a goat herd. Dulu orang Kaldi ini menjaga biri-biri, right? Oh no, that's sheep. Kambing. Dia satu penjaga kambing. And one day, while he was taking care of his goats, Kaldi noticed that his goats were eating these berries on a tree. And after the goats ate those berries, the goats started jumping around. So Kaldi himself tried those cherries and discovered it had a very, very interesting effect on himself. And that is how the legend goes. So Kaldi was one of the first to discover coffee. And that was in Ethiopia.
Interesting. Alright. I hope you got that. Daripada Ethiopia, seorang pengembala kambing.
Ya, pengembala kambing yang pertamanya menjumpai benih.
Ya, dia perasan kambing dia tengah makan dan dia tengah lompat-lompat. Alright. We also have another question from a live audience. SMK Pendang, Pendang is asking, bagaimana kopi pelbagai rasa dihasilkan? Adakah menggunakan bahan kimia lain?
Very good question.
Do you use other chemical to make coffee?
Yeah. So and the process as well involved.
Yep.
Kebanyakan kopi adalah 95% dan ke atas air. So most of the coffees are just made out of water and coffee. And once in a while, like in Malaysia, a lot of people love to enjoy coffee together with milk, which is what a latte is called.
All right. Okay, so means there is no extra chemicals added in, any flavoring, whatnot.
There's a lot of different types of drinks that you can make with coffee as a base, and then you build upon. You can make a caramel latte, which is made out of caramel sauce, your coffee, and also milk. So, for example.
So they are all natural ingredients lah. So not
all natural.
Yeah. Okay. I hope that answers your question for SMK Pendang. Okay. So we have up next.
SK Pendek. SK Pendek. Do we have
Hello?
Pendek?
Yes, we can hear you.
The question, what is the most unforgettable experience in your career as a barista, and what do most Malaysians like to drink?
Okay. Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
Yes, I got your question. Okay, my most unforgettable experience would be serving coffee in the Big Bad Wolf sale. I'm not sure if some of you have heard about it.
That's a very big sale.
Yeah, it's a very big book sale which goes on for 24 hours for a few days, and that was one of my most unforgettable experience. Making coffee, membuat kopi pada 3 pagi malam. So it's 3 a.m. and I'm making coffee for very, very sleepy people. That was a very unforgettable experience.
Okay. So her next question was, what is the most popular coffee among Malaysians?
Most Malaysians love to drink a lot of milk. So the most popular drink in Malaysia would be a latte or a cappuccino.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I love
Thank you.
lattes myself. Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much. Up next,
is SK Haji Kuching.
we have SK Haji Kuching.
Hai. Apa khabar?
Selamat, saya Farahin dari SK Haji Keladi Muara Kuching. Soalan saya, apakah motif corak yang dibuat pada kopi yang disediakan?
Boleh ulang soalan? Apakah motif?
Apakah motif corak yang dibuat pada kopi yang disediakan?
Okay.
Okay.
So pattern yang atas kopi tu, the motif dan the corak.
Yeah, your
So-
rosettas.
Okay. So boleh beritahu yang paling simple dan juga yang paling susah sekali nak buat, I guess. Yeah. Corak.
Yang paling senang corak yang dibuat adalah sebuah hati di atas kopi itu. Itu yang paling senang. Dan
Alright.
paling susah would be a swan.
A swan, angsa.
Sebuah angsa di atas kopi itu.
So angsa termasuk leher yang panjang.
Leher yang panjang dan seluruh badannya.
Wow, okay, alright. So up next we also have SK Haji Kelali. SK Haji Kelali. Thank you very much, SK Haji Kuching. That's a very good question. Very interesting one actually. So we have SK Haji Kuching.
Kelali.
Oh sorry, SK Haji Kelali. You have a question for our guest? Ada soalan untuk tetamu kita?
Oh, soalan sama tu.
Okay, so then we have SMK Pondok Upih. SMK Pondok Upih, ada soalan?
Hai, Pondok Upih. SMK Pondok Upih. Sila tampil ke hadapan mic sekarang dan unmute.
Please unmute your mic so that you can ask question. Alright, while we are waiting for them to be on, there is one question. What is the most expensive coffee in the world? And how much does it cost?
Yeah.
So the most expensive coffee in the world is of course the best coffee in the world, which is from Panama, as I mentioned earlier. So kopi itu harganya boleh sampai lebih kurang RM800 untuk 1 kilogram.
Wow, 800 ringgit for 1 kilogram. Wow, that's very, very expensive.
Yes,
Okay.
very.
Thank you very much for answering that. That is the question from SK Haji Kelali. So up next.
Okay, we have that question from Pondok Upe. Their question is, can a chef become a barista?
Oh, yeah, very interesting. Can a
Interesting
chef-
question. Yes. We do have a lot of chefs that are also in the coffee industry, because when you become a chef, you have a very good tasting palate, so you have a very good tongue, and that will help when you become a barista, so you know how to taste coffee.
Yep.
All right, so chef is also a probable pathway to go into your field as well.
Okay, up next is SK Putri.
Nama orang yang buka kopi yang jual kopi yang pertama. Nah, dengar ke yang dia tu, dia yang jual kopi tu. Masa yang dia apa?
Hello, we have SK Putrajaya.
SK Putrajaya, tenang sikit.
Ada soalan untuk tetamu kita?
Ada soalan?
What was the first name? What was the name of the first cafe? Itulah please.
Apa dia?
Hi.
Tadi nak tanya nama kan?
Oh, dia dengar.
Boleh ulang?
Ulang soalan tu.
What was the first What was the first cafe that sold coffee?
The first cafe that sold coffee.
First cafe.
Levi, did you get the question?
No, I didn't.
The
What?
first cafe that sold coffee.
What is the name of the first cafe that sold coffee?
Yeah.
First cafe that sold coffee. There is no.
It's not Starbucks.
It's not Starbucks, is it?
No, it's not Starbucks. Today, there is no. The first cafe doesn't really exist. There is no one that really knows cafe. But there is an oldest cafe that is still running today. It has been around for more than 300 years. And it's
Wow.
called Cafe Florent, and it's located in Venice, in Italy.
Oh, okay. So 300 tahun.
Ya, sudah berumur 300 tahun, kafe yang paling tua berada di Itali.
Alright. So we have up next, we have a lot of interesting questions today. So SK Sibujaya have a question. SK Sibujaya.
Hello, I have a question. Are you happy when you make a coffee?
Oh,
Are you happy when you make a cup of coffee? Yeah, so is it the most satisfying experience ever?
So the question is, am I happy when I make a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. It affects your mood. And also, what is more satisfying is when the cup of coffee that you make or a barista makes is able to make someone else's day a lot happier.
alright. So you make someone else happy.
Yes.
I can imagine that. Okay, so up next we have SK Haji Kelali. SK Haji Kelali? Hello.
SK Haji Kelali? Ya, sila tanya soalan.
Dari SK Haji Kelali Kuching.
Ya.
sekiranya saya ingin menjadi seorang barista, industri mana yang menawarkan kursus ini?
Okay. So, yeah.
Industri manakah, sekolah manakah yang menawarkan kursus ini, kursus barista?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you. Yes, Levi.
A very good question.
Okay.
So, if I want to pursue this, which academy or which course besides your school that I can go to?
Yeah, what do you recommend?
Ingin menjadi satu barista, anda pertama kena habiskan sekolah menengah, dan lepas itu anda boleh pergi ke sekolah hospitality or a food and beverage college. Most of them will offer coffee courses.
Food and beverage. Makanan dan minuman, industri makanan dan minuman. Alright. Is there a particular state that you have to go to?
Could you repeat the question?
Is there a particular state, I guess, or like, is there a particularly famous one that you can go to?
Yeah, a school or something.
Well, one of the famous ones that most people know would be KDU. KDU will be offering some coffee courses in their college very, very soon.
Okay. Does your school offer coffee courses for first-timers or graduates from SPM?
And that also leads to the question from SMK Pending. Where is your coffee branch? Where is your coffee training branch?
Yeah, so where's your coffee training branch, and do you offer courses to like school graduates?
Our courses are actually available for anyone, and we offer a course that is part of a diploma system that comes from the European Organization for Coffee. And our training center is located in Aradamansara in Petaling Jaya, Selangor.
I see. All right. Is there a particular website that we can go to apply into your training center?
Yes, definitely. Most of our courses and information is available in Facebook.
In Facebook, yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
Alright.
yeah.
So
if any schools are interested, we will be probably sharing the link on our Twitter account later on to his school's Facebook.
you can also put in your link in the group chat now so that all the schools can see your Facebook page then.
Okay,
Alright.
sure.
So, question from our Q&A live audience watching this. Harga terendah untuk dapatkan kopi yang anda jual?
Okay, I'm not sure.
What is the lowest price to get? So just now you say most expensive is like 1 kilogram 800. 1 kg 800. Tapi kalau yang paling murah?
Kalau di Malaysia you can enjoy a cup of coffee, boleh minum satu cawan kopi pada harga RM5 ke atas.
So that's the cheapest one? RM5.
Yep, for you
Alright.
to enjoy a good cup of coffee in Malaysia.
Okay, so tetamu kita dah letakkan link Facebook kepada training center dia dalam group chat. So it's facebook.com/barista guild Asia, BARISTA GUILD Asia ASIA. Alright, go check him out on his Facebook.
Okay, soalan seterusnya daripada Putrajaya Pisin 81 Putrajaya SK Putrajaya
Purujaya Presin 8.
Is this Putrajaya?
Yes. Halo, ada
Hai.
soalan?
Tolong ambilkan mic.
Cara bukan kita. Cara kopi antara kopi pahit dengan kopi manis, mana yang tak buat kamu mengantuk?
Boleh ulang sekali lagi?
Antara kopi yang pahit dengan kopi yang manis, mana yang tak buat kamu mengantuk?
Antara kopi yang pahit dengan kopi yang manis.
Mana
yang
membuatkan tak mengantuk?
Sorry, what was the question?
Okay.
Which one will help to keep you awake?
Ya,
Kopi pahit
ke kopi manis?
Yes, atau kopi manis. Good question. I would like to know that.
Rasa kopi tidak akan mengganggu apa-apa, but it's more of the what type of coffee you drink. For example, a brewed cup of coffee, like a black cup of coffee, would keep you awake more than an espresso, which is a smaller type of coffee.
Okay, so untuk Putrajaya, rasa kopi tu tak ada efek lah, tak ada apa-apa. Tapi kalau nak tak mengantuk minum kopi hitam je.
Black coffee, alright.
Black coffee, ya, kopi hitam.
We have a question from SMK Kiara Mas. What is the rarest coffee? Apakah jenis biji kopi yang paling suka dijumpai? Is it still the one in Panama, the most expensive one, or do you have even rarer coffee? Hello? Alright, while we're waiting for Levi to come back on, let's have another school to ask question. Do you have another school, Arafi? We have quite a number of schools today with us, and everyone is asking very interesting question.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, so while we're waiting for Mr. Levi to get back on, so sila bagikan maklum balas dan cadangan anda, okay? Dalam borang maklum balas, link dia bit.ly/FCC reflection. Saya ulang, bit.ly/FCC reflection. Alright, so please send us your feedback and also your suggestions through the link bit.ly/FCC reflection, BIT.CC reflection, REFLEION. Thank you very much for joining us today. Yeah, so I hope you have all had a very fruitful session. So if there's any extra question that you would like to ask, please continue to tweet your question or Facebook us using hashtag FrogCC and hashtag FrogBarista. So sekiranya anda ada soalan yang lain untuk tetamu kita hari ini, sila tweetkan soalan anda atau Facebook soalan anda dan guna hashtag FrogCC atau hashtag FrogBarista. FrogBarista untuk sesi hari ini. Alright, so I guess that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining us. Dan kita akan jumpa anda pada sesi yang akan datang.
Bye.